to share with us the Bromford experience. So I have here next to your slide. Let me know when you would like me to move to it.
Thank you. Yeah, you can go to the slide now. That's fine. Thank you, Agustina. I love the passion that you talk about this with. It's very inspiring. So I'm Jo, I'm from Bromford. Just a bit of context about Bromford and the team that I work in. So Bromford have got 45,000 properties, and we kind of go along the M5 corridor from up to Lichfield and down to Bristol. So we're quite spread out in terms of, I think we cover about 38 local authorities. So pretty big housing association. And obviously with the void turnover as well, which is where we started looking at carpets, and we build around 1,200 new homes a year. So quite a lot. This is quite a big consideration for us. In terms of my team, so I work in the strategic property planning team, and what we do is we look at all our stock, all those 45,000 homes, and we try to evaluate how our stock is performing. So we try to look at where we need to invest, where we might need to dispose if some properties just aren't working for customers or just not working for us anymore, and where we need to regenerate as well. As part of that, we also are really focused on bringing up standards as a whole. And that's where this piece of work has come about, around looking at our home standard and therefore flooring. So just on the left, that's our new strategy. We've just launched the new 23 to 27 strategy. It's largely the big shift around working as a place-based organisation and a move to scale. But one of our 8 big objectives is closing the home standard gap. And that is, we've noticed a big difference in customer satisfaction between when we give someone a brand new, shiny, lovely home as to when we give them one of our more older properties. And what we want to do is balance that investment to make sure that we're closing that gap as much as possible. So the next picture there, our home standard. We created our home standard with a load of customers and colleagues over the last year and a half. And the main things that customers told us is they just wanted to feel proud of their home. And so time and again, every time we'd meet with customers, it would ultimately come down to, I just want to feel proud of where I live. So we've got these 5 themes within our standard, and we wanted to just start with some pilots. One of the things that came up time and again for customers and colleagues who felt really passionately about it is flooring. So kind of saying, actually, you move someone in, and we do quite a good void standard, we paint it and that looks great, but customers just aren't able to afford flooring. And we're going in a year or 6 months later and there's still like kids crawling around on a concrete floor, and customers and colleagues don't feel great about that. So that was something we wanted to try as our one of our first pilots from our home standard. So we picked 11 properties, and we did that really just by working on a fixed time period. So we said, right, by April, we've got a bit of money to spend, and we want to have properties that are ready and customers that need it. And actually, I'm sure you'll all know that most customers need it at the moment. So we thought that was going to be a bit more of a barrier in terms of finding customers that would really benefit. But actually, pretty much everyone who was due to move into a property really benefited from having flooring installed. So we worked with 11 customers, and we worked with Uplyfted, who absolutely bent over backwards to try and work with us to install carpets for customers. And sometimes we installed them after they'd moved in, which was really helpful for us. And we worked with a national carpet provider as well. And for us, that was just about evaluating the difference in terms of cost and quality, and getting that customer feedback, the colleague feedback, and looking at the learnings in terms of the process and impact on void time as well. So we did that in March and April. We've got a little bit of customer feedback. We've still got more to get. We want to get some more case studies from customers in terms of the difference it's made. I know that when I walked into that property that's in the picture, I walked in before and I walked in afterwards, and it just felt a world of difference having that flooring down. I think internally as well, when I've talked about carpet tiles, people have been kind of excited and interested, particularly with the sustainability element. But I think sometimes there's a bit of a reservation around, does it look and feel a bit like an office? But actually walking into the property and looking and touching and feeling it, you can kind of tell how homely it really makes the place feel. So that was a real big tick for us. So yeah, like I said, we've trialed the carpet tiles now. We're getting that customer feedback in. Customers have told us that they wouldn't have been able to afford it if we didn't put it down for them. Customers have told us that it's made the place feel warmer, made it feel more like a home, and they think it's going to help them with the bills. Again, we've only done that from April, so we're going to follow up on all of this stuff. But yeah, so far a real big success. We're not finished, so we're just kind of pausing and relaunching our home standard project off the back of the new strategy. But as part of that, we want to do some further pilots, particularly looking at new homes. And again, maybe doing a bit of a show home and getting people in to look and see and touch and feel and go, what does it feel like to have these carpet tiles down? So that's where we're going to go with it next. I think that's everything I wanted to cover, unless there's any questions around that.
I just press next to your next slide. Sorry, Joe, I didn't realize to do it before. Don't know if you want to add anything on this one.
Okay, so yes, I was just talking about the process. I think I've covered it in terms of impact on the void time. It was quite helpful because we're able to put the carpet tiles in when customers already moved in. Customer and colleague feedback was really positive.